Getting out of bed is getting harder. Maybe it's not just age. It could be something serious, and no one's warning you. You wake up, try to stand, but your legs don't seem to cooperate. You go to the kitchen, your fingers tremble as you hold a glass. Climbing stairs feels like a battle. It seems like fatigue or just getting older. But what if it's not? It has a name. It's a silent condition that affects millions of people over 60, but hardly anyone talks about it. And when they find out, sometimes it's already too late. Stay with me for just a few seconds because what you're about to see might be the key to maintaining your strength, your mobility, and your independence for years to come. By the way, tell me in the comments, have you ever felt something like this? That sudden weakness or difficulty doing simple tasks? I want to hear your story. If this topic resonates with you or could help someone in your family, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I bring practical tips every week to help you live with more strength, health, and independence. The name is not well known, but the impact is devastating. Sarcopenia, a condition that slowly erases your muscle strength without making a sound. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't cause inflammation. It leaves no marks. It just steals. Steals your stability when you walk, your balance when you get up from a chair, your confidence when stepping down a stair. Starting around age 50, this process begins silently and intensifies with each passing decade. You don't notice it at first. You just feel a slight struggle carrying grocery bags, standing up from the couch, or even opening a tightly sealed lid. What seems like ordinary fatigue may actually be the beginning of a spiral into frailty. And the most dangerous part, most people only realize it after their first fall. A fracture, a hospital stay, a scare. That's when the warning goes off. But by then, time may already be working against you. Sarcopenia doesn't spare athletic people or those aging gracefully. It happens even to those who walk every day, even to those who think everything's fine. Because moving your body isn't enough. You need to understand how muscle is nourished, how it rebuilds, and how it responds to aging. If you're over 50 or know someone who is, this information is urgent. It affects your autonomy, your safety, and yes, your life expectancy. Understanding this now can prevent consequences that would be far too costly later, in time, in health, and in freedom. In a study conducted by Harvard University, researchers found something alarming. People over 60 lose on average 33% of their total muscle mass, even those who consider themselves active. And this loss isn't just aesthetic or functional. It's directly linked to the risk of falls, hospitalizations, and even early death. The World Health Organization had no hesitation in classifying sarcopenia as a progressive chronic disease. It's no longer just a matter of natural aging. It's a physiological disorder with real measurable impact. Even more surprising, muscle loss starts before age 60. By age 40, the body is already showing signs. Small, almost imperceptible, but cumulative. When not properly stimulated, muscle begins to break down. And this happens even without changes on the scale. You could keep the same weight for years and still be losing lean mass and gaining fat silently. These facts aren't meant to scare. They're meant to wake you up. Because what science shows us today is clear. Aging doesn't have to mean weakness. Strength, contrary to what many believe, can be rebuilt. But the first step is recognizing it, accepting that sarcopenia exists, and it's much closer than we think. What you do with this information from this moment forward will shape the next years of your health. If you've read this far, you already understand that losing strength is not random, and ignoring this process could cost you your autonomy. That's why this channel exists, to bring you weekly, science-based, practical content, created especially for those who want to live well after 50. Subscribing here isn't just about clicking a button. It's about taking control of your health with real information, not trends, not miracle promises, not empty advice. Turn on notifications and make sure you're always one step ahead, with real strategies to preserve your strength, mobility, and independence. And yes, it matters, because when your body responds with energy, everything improves: your mood, your sleep, your motivation, your confidence to leave the house, to play with your grandkids, to live without fear of falling. So pause for just 2 seconds, click subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Not because I'm asking, but because the right information at the right time can change lives. And if this content has made sense to you so far, just wait for what's coming next. Now tell me, have you ever felt this kind of weakness? That hesitation when stepping up a stair? The feeling that your body is slower, less steady? If so, type 1 in the comments. If you haven't felt this yet, but want to protect yourself, type 0. This simple interaction has a purpose: to remind you that you're not alone. Thousands of people are going through the same changes with the same questions, and often without even knowing what it's called. When you comment, you connect. You create a point of contact with others who are facing exactly what you're feeling. And more than that, by interacting, you help the YouTube algorithm understand that this content needs to reach more people. People who don't yet know what's happening to their own bodies. It's not about the number of likes. It's about raising awareness. So leave your comment. This is more than just a video. It's a real space for sharing, learning, and most importantly, action. Because the more people know about this, the fewer falls, fewer scares, and fewer regrets we'll see. And from this point on, we're talking solutions. Real, accessible, proven ones. The good news is the body responds, even after 50, 60, or 70, and it responds fast. Recent studies, conducted by institutes specializing in nutrition and aging physiology, show that 91% of people with signs of sarcopenia experienced significant muscle recovery in just 6 weeks when following a specific diet plan focused on essential nutrients for lean mass regeneration. We're not talking about exhausting workouts or expensive supplements. The shift begins with your plate, with simple, affordable choices that activate the body's natural mechanisms and restore strength, balance, and endurance. And the most surprising part? Many of the most effective foods are overlooked in everyday life. They're right there, in the supermarket, at the farmer's market, in your kitchen. But without the right knowledge, they go unnoticed. That's what you're going to see now. The foods that can trigger muscle regeneration, strengthen fibers, and help you maintain your independence, all backed by real studies. No miracle promises, no fad diets. Because yes, it's possible to live with strength, stability, and confidence, even after 60. And if someone once told you that aging means getting weaker, it's time to rethink that idea. The body does change, but it also adapts, rebuilds, and grows stronger with the right choices. And it all starts with food, not with ready-made formulas, miracle diets, or expensive supplements, but with foods you might already have at home. You've just never looked at them as allies of your strength. From now on, we're going to look at your plate differently. Every item you're about to see is backed by science, with serious research behind it, and, most importantly, real results in real people. Here's the list. Brown rice. More than just an energy source, brown rice contains magnesium and B-complex vitamins, essential for muscle contraction and cellular regeneration. Unlike white rice, it retains fiber and helps regulate protein metabolism, crucial for preserving lean mass. Quinoa. Considered a superfood, quinoa is one of the few plant-based sources with all essential amino acids. This means it provides the full building blocks muscles need to rebuild, especially in people over 50 whose protein absorption is already reduced. Walnuts. Rich in omega-3s and antioxidants, walnuts help reduce muscle inflammation and protect fibers from wear and tear. When eaten in moderation, they offer healthy fat and sustained energy for daily life. Blueberries. Small in size, giant in impact. Blueberries fight oxidative stress, one of the main villains of muscle loss. Studies show that frequent consumption improves post-exertion recovery and protects against fiber degeneration. Flax seeds. A powerful source of plant-based omega-3s and fiber. Flax seeds help regulate anabolic hormones and maintain an environment favorable for muscle gain. Plus, they support digestion, which improves nutrient absorption. Cottage cheese rich in casein, a slow-digesting protein, cottage cheese nourishes your muscles for hours, making it ideal for nighttime. It provides a steady supply of amino acids, preventing muscle loss while you sleep. Greek yogurt. Highly concentrated in protein, especially casein, Greek yogurt is also rich in calcium and probiotics. That means better digestion, improved nutrient absorption, and direct support for lean mass maintenance. When paired with fruits or seeds, it becomes a powerful meal. Fatty fish. Salmon, sardines, tuna. These fish are loaded with high-quality protein and abundant omega-3s. Omega-3s not only reduce muscle inflammation, but also enhance protein synthesis in older adults, essential in fighting sarcopenia. Lean proteins, lean meats, chicken, eggs, and also plant-based options like lentils, chickpeas, and tofu. The key is consistency and balance. Your body needs protein at every meal, not just at dinner. Spreading your intake throughout the day increases absorption and keeps your muscles stimulated. Strategic supplements when needed. While food should be the foundation, in some cases, supplementation with whey protein, creatine, or vitamin D may be recommended, always under professional guidance. Not to replace, but to complement what diet alone may not provide. These foods aren't trends, they're applied science on a plate. And each one, when used intentionally, represents a firm step toward vitality. Most people only realize the value of strength when it's already slipping away. It's like a light bulb dimming slowly. First it flickers, then it loses its glow, and one day it just doesn't turn on anymore. But in the human body, that light bulb is your independence, your ability to get out of bed by yourself, to walk unassisted, to carry a bag, to take a shower, standing up. Now think for a moment. How many simple things do you do every day without thinking? Opening a door, reaching for something high, going down the stairs. What would happen if one day you couldn't do those things anymore. Most people prefer not to think about it. The brain avoids pain. It flees from the feeling of helplessness. And that's exactly why so many ignore the signs. They stumble once, then again. They blame the shoes, the wet floor, their age, until the fall comes, the one that changes everything. But you're not here by accident. Something in you has already awakened. You've realized there's a path. And more importantly, that this path starts now, not after your strength is gone. Today's video wasn't just an explanation of a problem, it was a mirror showing what could happen, but also what can still be prevented. And here lies the big key. Your body is always waiting for a signal from you. It doesn't want to stop. It wants to respond. It wants to rebuild. But it needs your intention. It needs your attention and your conscious choice, not driven by fear, but by clarity. Psychology calls this a cognitive momentum, the moment when the mind opens up to accept a new reality, when denial gives way to the possibility of change. This is your moment. And to turn it into real action, you need to make this knowledge part of your routine, starting with food. Not out of guilt, not with rigid rules, but with understanding. Because now you know what you put on your plate will decide whether your muscles stay strong or quietly fade away. But let's go further. Imagine your life in 5, 10, 15 years. Not as a frail, dependent, passive senior, but as someone who walks with confidence, stands up with ease, moves without fear. Someone who lives freely. That image isn't a fantasy, it's a possible outcome if you keep doing what you've just started now. And that's why this channel exists. Every week, new content grounded in evidence, guided by purpose, built with strategy. So you're not walking in the dark. So you're not relying on luck or random advice, but instead you have a plan, a map, a clear route to preserve what's most valuable, your independence. So here's the invitation, not for me, but for yourself. Click subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop a comment. Which of these foods are you going to start including in your daily routine today? Your comment, no matter how small it may seem, is a commitment, an anchor, a simple gesture that reinforces your decision to make a change in your mind. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, someone who's been moving slower, constantly saying, "I'm tired," or who's stopped going out, send them this video. Because knowledge only has power when it's shared. You could be the reason someone avoids a fall, avoids a hospital stay, avoids the beginning of the end. What you do now in the next few seconds changes everything. And remember, strength isn't just for the young. Strength belongs to those who refuse to give up on their own life.